Ah yes, a region that many high school textbooks have often overlooked. Today, it may be known for being very poor, as numerous wars and regimes during the 20th century have devastated the Southeast Asian economies. What many people don't know is that this region has a very rich history, dating back to the first people who discovered rice agriculture to the builders of the magnificent Angkor Wat Temple. Southeast Asia is home to a variety of cultures, with mainly Indian and Chinese influence, and it is important to learn what made these people who they are today. This is the history of Southeast Asia. At this point, humans have just started to leave Africa 60,000 years ago. It only took 20,000 years for humans to finally reach southern China. And then, the Neolithic Revolution happened. Humans started to produce rice agriculture. Evidence of this was created 12,000 years ago, when the
Hòa Bình,
people settled in the Red River Valley and developed tools for rice agriculture.
Hòa Bình,
From there, humans settled increasingly southwards, entering the land of Indochina and traveling by canoe to the Philippines, Java, and Borneo, spreading the secrets of rice agriculture with them. And you know how it goes. More food equals more people equals more specialization.
Civilization.
But not for everyone. The Hung Dynasty is found in northern Vietnam, drawing off the rich agriculture in the area and the huge Chinese influence to the north. The Mon people settle in between the Sitang and Salavine rivers in the area now known as Burma. Or is it Myanmar? Oh no, it's the Chinese! Said the Hung Dynasty, who were taken over by the Chinese. Later, the Trung sisters grew popular with the Vietnamese people and led a rebellion against the Chinese. However, the rebellion was crushed and the sisters committed suicide. Later, word spreads to India and China about a land of gold, and merchants are motivated to seek it. To the north, 18 city-states in Burma form the Piu civilization, and to the south, maritime trade leads to the establishment of Funan. Legend tells of an Indian Brahmin marrying a serpent princess. Ooh. Trade along the Strait of Malacca leads to Indian settlers along the coast of western Malaysia in Kedah. One Han Chinese official decides to set off on his own journey to the south and tries to impose power. Unfortunately, nobody liked him, and he was killed by Kiu Lian, laying the foundations for Champa. 5 states were made here, and finally here. They also raided into Vietnam a couple of times, in which Vietnam will get back at them for what they've done many centuries later. Ah yes, to the left you will see Chenla, a vassal of Funan, become the successor to Funan, making Funan a vassal. In fact, it was vassalized so hard that it disappeared. This newfound power scares Mon tribes looking to settle near, so they migrated a little bit further to the north. Those Mon tribes that didn't move became a dominion under Chenla, called Lavo. If you look to the islands, you will see many small local kingdoms form. And if you look back to the north, the Nan Chao people are looking to migrate southwards from Tong, China, and the Mon tribes to the west of Chenla unite to create the Varavati kingdom, also incorporating Indian influence.
Jeez, where's this influence coming from again?
Ah yes, the Indian Ocean Trade Network. That's right. Remember those small local Whoa! The Srivijaya Empire has arisen, and they have really good ship power. That means they're set for controlling maritime trade, especially between India and China, because spices. The Thai peoples also look to join the party migrating south from China, not to be confused with the Thai people. They slithered down the Mekong River and established some districts called Mueang. In central Java, the Mataram dynasty was created on the basis of human labor, becoming a big rival to the Srivijaya. Oh dear, it looks like Chenla had a big breakup, as the last king did not leave a male heir. Side note, if you really want to keep stability over a country, please have a male heir. Don't have female heirs. But hey, look, it's our friends, the Srivijaya, and they're here to save the day. Oh, they're here to take over. That's fine for now. Oh, in fact, they're even bullying Champa. Bullied so hard that they had to move their capital. And Champa's history just kind of goes downhill from there. Nonetheless, Jayavarman II fought the Srivijaya overlords and declared independence. He also unified the split Cambodians and moved the capital to Angkor, or rather slightly near it, marking the start of the Khmer Empire. He liked Hinduism and proclaimed himself as Chakravat. The Bamar people hopped into Pu's crib, took them over, and created the Pagan kingdom, showcasing how alpha they were. Champa goes into a state of anarchy. They're pretty weakened right now. Indravarman I starts building some massive structures in Angkor. The Mataram dynasty uses their human nature to create Borobudur, the most notable Buddhist structure in Java, before Islam sweeps across the islands. Ngokoyan defeats his Chinese overlords at the Battle of Bakdao and unifies the Vietnamese people and declares independence. Unification! But he died. Disunification! Ding dynasty. Reunification! Champa, will you give us a Maravati and Vijaya?
No.
How about now? Much better. Geez, the Khmer sure do have a thing for disputed successions. This time, 3 kings are arguing over each other over who gets the crown, and Suryavarman I emerges victorious, starting the second Angkor dynasty. The waters are getting really tough for Srivijaya as the Chola Empire in India starts launching coastal raids. Lee dynasty! Money! See those Mon kingdoms? That one just got absorbed by Pagan. Whoa! Suryavarman II just completed Angkor Wat, the largest religious structure in El Mundo. He even got himself on the wall. And his ashes may also be lying underneath. Did I mention that he took over Champa? But that really didn't last for long. Because in return, Champa sacked Angkor. And nobody sacks Angkor ever. Boom. Third Angkor dynasty, this time under Jayavarman VII, and boy does he have an agenda. He expands so fast that later rulers don't have the expertise, and the Khmer Empire falls into a period of decline. The Tran Dynasty! Sri Indratit liberates the Thai people from the Khmer overlords. The word Thai meaning free. And speaking of free, what about that Isthmus of Kra? Am I right?
Are you getting tired of playing Southeast Asia Simulator?
Well, good news. The Mongols expansion pack has arrived. Oh my god, it's the Mongols with their horses and bows and arrows. Nah, we good fam. Horses can't jungle fight. The Mongols invaded Vietnam thrice and failed at the Battle of Bakda. Wait, another one? Actually, there have been 3. Oh my god! How rude of me to not welcome you in, says Ramkam Hang. Oh my god, it's the Mongols! Disperse! And that's the end of Pagan. The Singhasari finally put an end to the Srivijaya Empire. But have no fear, the Majapahit are here. Also, Arabian traders start getting a lot of power in this region. That means a lot of Islamic influence and lots of people named Muhammad. Ayutthaya is started by Ramatipati, which eventually eclipses Sukhothai. In response to growing threats from both sides, the Khmer created an ally by grabbing an exchange student, giving him a princess, and sending him up the river, Lansang. Except that this plan didn't work so well, and Angkor is sacked again and again until finally they give up and move the capital south. A little earlier, the Yongle Emperor decided he had enough of the Ho dynasty down south, so he started invasions. The Vietnamese phoned their Lao neighbors to help fight. Along the way, the message was wiretapped and the Laotians attacked Vietnam instead of the Chinese. After Vietnam got independence again, they attacked Laos, which resulted in total chaos, as in the next 7 kings were assassinated by the same woman. On the other hand, the Le dynasty, the longest lasting Vietnamese dynasty, really kicks off the Nam Tien by invading and then vassalizing Champa. Many rival states have risen in Burma, but the dominant one is clearly the Taungoo dynasty under Tabin Shweti. He consolidates Burma.
Then he died.
His successor, former Deputy General Bao Yunnan, decides to conquer Lanna, Ayutthaya, and Lansang in one gigantic swoop. Except the swoop was proven to be too much, and after he died, everything was gone. Nariswan was a great leader who fought for Ayutthaya's independence while under Burmese control. Once upon a time, Christians arrived in Cambodia to make everyone praise Jesus, but this plan was foiled. Then, Nariswan attacked. Khmer King was assassinated, and he took families up north. Surya Wongsa made Lansang a cultural center for Buddhist learning, but when he died, Lansang split into 3 kingdoms. We haven't talked about the islands in a while. The Majapahit fell because they were Hindu, and literally every other islander was praising Allah. And the port of Malacca was seized by the Portuguese. Why? Because spices? And after not being mentioned for the entirety of this video, King Philip II of Spain creates a colony in the Philippines, enforcing Catholicism on the Malays, and the Johor Sultanate allies with the Dutch VOC against the Portuguese to retake Malacca, but in reality, they're just playing themselves. Back to the mainland, Champa gets wiped off the map. Along Paya founds the Konbaung dynasty dynasty in Burma, reunifying it again and creates a new capital at Yangon. He launches an invasion of Ayutthaya, capturing the Tenasserim coast and defeating the kingdom. However, the Thais won't back down, and Taksin the Great leads them to an epic recovery. He would conquer Lan Na, the three Lao kingdoms, Cambodia, as well as some of Malaysia.
Then he died.
Then it became the Rattanakosin period, or Siam. Taisong dynasty. Disunification! And another Chinese invasion! The Nguyen dynasty! Short-lived. Cambodia had enough playing around, or rather getting played. So Notre Dame requested the French to make a protectorate. The French saw this as an opportunity to create a colony. So they battled and got concessions from the newly split Vietnam. Then Laos joined the party too, and France made the Indo-Chinese Union. Goodbye.